Vassy, let's address really quickly why you weren't in the chat with Bingo Players and Disco Fries. It's pretty much because I didn't want to talk to you after you texted me 13 times.
Well, Brian, I'm in Australia and the time difference is brutal. And it was midnight here and I needed an answer from you. So I knew what to do, whether I set my alarm to get up early for you. That, and I was just trying to annoy you.
You don't have to try, Vassy. Welcome back to America's Dance 30. Thank you so much for taking the time in Australia.
My pleasure. Anytime for you. And I'm glad I do a good job at annoying you. So I'm proud of myself for that.
You should be. I should give you an award just for that, besides the fact that your song has gone number one. Congratulations on Pieces being number one.
Yay. I'm so happy. Thank you so much.
I feel like we have to rewind 2 months ago when we talked, when the song dropped. I'm not going to say I'm Nostra Fink or anything, but if you go back to that video on YouTube, you can see that I say it's going to be your next number one.
Actually, yeah, I think you did say that. That's pretty cool. Wow.
And you said, I'm going to have to hold on to this for when it does go number one to show you that you said, geez, am I the only one that pays attention in this interview?
Oh, wow. All right, I'm going back for a soundbite. I'm going to have to do a quick edit, I think.
Well, congratulations on Pieces going number one. That is so amazing. We were just chatting with Bingo Players and Disco Fries. I got to clear something up. Because also in that last interview, you said, and I quote, "The song has an interesting story that we all had to evolve with." What is that story? They wouldn't tell me either.
You're so cute. I love how you want to know. You want to know. We can't keep it from you.
No, because it's part of my OCD. I have to have closure. It's like saying, oh, I got to tell you something. Never mind. I'm like, no, just tell me.
No, it really had nothing to do with us. It was sort of an outside energy that interjected. Just some people, can be a bit, I don't want to say greedy, but anyways, as a team collectively, we handled it really well. And you just deal with it and do what's best for the song. So I think the boys and I were all, we just handled it. But yeah, so, records always have some little obstacles sometimes that you have to overcome.
That was very political. Very nice.
Hi, good morning. You've joined CNN with VASSY and Brian on America's Dance 30.
Now, when did you actually start writing Pieces?
So I started writing Pieces about exactly a year ago with my co-writer, Phil, who I love. I work with him a lot. We actually did secrets together too, actually. And I knew straight away, I was like, oh, there's just something about this song. And when I get that feeling about a song, I'm so committed. I become very invested. And then no matter what happens with the record, I just don't care. Like, I'm laser focused. I'm like, that's my baby. Like, I'm taking this one home. But I actually got connected to Bingo Players. I actually was messaging him before the interview. And I said, besides telling him, by the way, I'm going to annoy Brian. Secondly, I said, do you know that we connected exactly a year ago and our song went number one, a year later? It's pretty cool. But we got connected and that's how I started the process. I was always a fan of his stuff. And then, we just got connected through one of the A&R guys at Spinning, actually. And that's how it started. And then, of course, Disco Fries came into the picture after. So it was really cool that we weren't anticipating to have someone else. But it was really cool when the boys jumped on as well. So, yeah, it just kind of all worked out,
Yeah, it definitely did. And with you starting to write it a year ago, how long did it take before you slid into the DMs or got connected with Bingo Players and you sent it to him for the next stage of it?
So pretty quickly, because when I wrote it, I went in and cut it and I just knew this is a song. And I remember one of the A&Rs actually, because, I get a lot of different A&Rs from labels hit me up and say, hey, do you have any songs? And I had sent him something else to do with someone else, which we're actually still finishing up. But this one song I said, this is a record that's really special to me. So I wrote this song. It's inspired by my husband.
By me?
Because when
Oh, your husband. Oh, never mind. Awkward.
oh my god, no, because I got married last year, but when I met my husband, I really felt like the lyrics in this song, were, I was lost until I found this person, and I was in pieces, and they put me back together piece by piece. I felt a little bit like that in my life. Not that I was lost, but I just this person coming into my life really just I felt like, wow, my other half. I finally met my other half in my life. My soulmate. So anyway, so metaphorically, there's a lot of literal stuff in the song, but so I was really inspired by that. But when I had written it, so I wrote it, and like we're talking about a month or so later, like about 5-6 weeks later, I got connected to bingo players, probably 6 to 8 weeks after, like initially like writing it, not even cutting it. So when I had sent it to him, I sent him, the vocal with some like piano, simple chords. And he loved it straight away.
And then when it gets to him, do you remember how long the process is of him working on it?
Yeah, so then he and I went back and forth a few times, and just to try and figure out the direction. And it was cool. I felt like he got it straight away. So then I said, oh, can we try some of this? And anytime I give him feedback, he was really good. Martin was great. He would just be like, yeah, got it, done. And then I felt like we had something. And then the label loved it and everything. And there was something there, but we just felt like it was missing something still, even though it was all really there. And then we got, Disco Fries on board. And I just felt like Disco Fries were able to just give that final, like, all those little touches, that polishes the record, adding some textures and stuff. So the chunk of the record was done, but, they really brought in that extra bit of magic, the sprinkling on the cake. And after they did that, I was like, oh, yeah, we both felt it. I said to the boys, we have a record now. Like, we can go to radio with this. We can go out with this now.
That's what Nick and Danny said, was that when they got it, it was pretty much already done, and they just, barely did anything.
Everything was there, but they did do, finessing and they came in for final touches, but still, I still think that stuff's important.
Absolutely. And it was an incredible teaming that took the song to number one, which is so awesome. Congratulations on another number one for you.
Thank you so much. And, the cool thing is, so this is, I've had a few number ones now, and I never take them for granted because you just never know. Like, not all your records go number one. This is the first number one with Bingo Players, but it's actually my second number one with Disco Fries, because we had a record a few years ago that went number one too. So it's really nice, to have the boys back on a record, and for that record to have also gone number one. So, I'm really excited. I just didn't, people were like, oh, this is going to go number one, but there was so much competition. We were literally sandwiched between David Guetta and Armin van Buuren. And so I was just like, oh, forget it. I got to call it a win, whatever, number 2, number 3, call it a day. So when we hit number one, I was texting Carrie and the boys. I was like, is this for real?
All I'm going to say is that's a good problem to have, to be sandwiched between David Guetta and Armin van Buuren on a chart. That is a very good problem to have.
I know. Interesting scenario there. Maybe I should do a record with those two.
Yeah, all of you guys together. That would be incredible.
There was a record I was supposed to do with Armin van Buuren, and he never finished it. So then I annoyed him, and I was like, what's the deal? We're going to finish that record?
Did he stop talking to you like I did?
No, he's nice, Brian. He's not mean like you, but it just wasn't. I don't think it's the right record. It was initially, but yeah, we'll do something else.
So when an artist doesn't finish a song that you were supposed to work with, do you completely shelve it, or do you hold on to it and maybe readdress it with another artist?
No, you kind of have that conversation between the two where it's like, hey, it can go both ways. But for example, I was working on something just with Timmy Trumpet, and we just decided mutually that maybe it just wasn't the right thing. So we just kind of like, hey, it's cool, I'll take my idea, my song, my top line, and, I'm happy for you to take the track, do whatever. And you just make that agreement. And so you both can walk away with your ideas and use them, because it's just not the right gel. Like, I was working on another record with Lucas Estrada, and we love the idea, but we just don't know, is this like the right one? So we may move from that idea and just bounce to another one. So you can't get attached. You got to, and I think with Armin, he had changed direction. So initially when we were going to do that idea, he loved it and so did I. But then his sound really changed. So then it just didn't fit. And so I think because I've been focused just to work on my stuff, I haven't been so focused as, oh, what can I write that's going to fit, these guys. And sometimes I might be like, oh, this song's not for me. I think this could be a really good one for, whatever, Tiesto or Sam Felt or something. But my energy has been a little more focused, on my artist side. So then what I'm saying is if I applied myself, I probably could have found something that would be a bit more accommodating, and palatable, say, to his project. But yeah.
What I will say is it's great seeing you getting number ones, not only as solo VASSY, but also on collabs with other artists. So it's awesome seeing you hitting both ends of the spectrum with number ones.
I know. Thank you. I really feel blessed, and I'm so proud of that because, I really want to lead an example and inspire a lot of other artists, and especially female artists, because I know it could be a real boys' club in the dance EDM world, or, the club world. A DJ driven, and I just want to show other artists, you don't have to be a DJ for number one. You don't have to be a guy, and you could still have success. And because people really know me for my massive global hits with, the biggest DJs in the world, it was really nice to move away from that and evolve as an artist on my own. And I think there was pressure on me because I just had so many people at the time hitting me up, asking for, hits, like literally duplicate hits, like those records.
So annoying.
And it's so annoying. And I'm like, I felt the pressure. And I think I just kind of had I had a not a breakdown, but I shut down. Because I just thought, oh my God, I can't give people what they want. And everyone keeps wanting that. And every time I send something, they're like, I love it, but it's not bad or it's not secrets. And I'm just like, ah. So I had to run away.
Well, I mean, it completely makes sense because when I was chatting with David Guetta, that is something that he mentioned is that, you get this formula where you're getting these hits and then at some point it doesn't work. And you get really broken about it, but you have to realize that not everything is going to be number ones. It can still be a great song.
Yeah, I know. It just sucks because you don't feel like you succeeded if you don't hit number one. And even though you're proud of the project, there's something about hitting number one. It's like that. It's that level of recognition from your peers, from the industry, and you just feel acknowledged, for your work. And it's tough. I know what he's saying and obviously Guetta's had, hundreds of records. He's released hundreds of records. So he's had many that haven't hit number one, but we all focus on the number ones. And lucky for him, he's had so many, that have hit number one. So I've been blessed to have, I've quite a few too. But I also have records that don't. And it just, it does hurt. It hurts. No, you definitely go, oh, wow, was that song not good enough? Was that record not good enough? But I mean, it happens to everyone. So
Absolutely.
It's like, what do you do? And it's funny because we can't please all you guys too. Like I remember one of my records that, went number one real quickly. I remember when I first sent it to you, you were like, I love you, Vass, but I'm not feeling this one. And I was like, what? Are you kidding me? I was so heartbroken. And then my mission was like, what the fuck? And I'm like, what do you mean you like this one?
I will now prove Brian wrong.
So then I became annoying as usual.
And it went number one. Which proves that I don't even know what I'm talking about. So
oh, I know. One of these days, I'm going to frame all our emails and send you a plaque just with our communication. You deserve number one for that.
Oh my God, that is epic. Well, what is next for VASSY? I know it's really early in the morning, so you don't really have a chance to get your brain straight, but what is next for VASSY?
Well, I'm in Australia because I've been booked to perform World Pride in Sydney. It happens only every few years in different countries. So it's such an honour to perform and headline. I'm headlining one of the main closing nights. So I'll be in Sydney for that. But, I am Australian, and so I've come to Australia to spend some time, with family as well and just work on some projects. But I'm actually working on finishing up a few records right now. with a couple other artists, and I'm really excited about 2 of them. And of course, I can't say anything yet, but anyways, I'm just getting ready to, get those records moving, and hopefully get it out there into the world and share it with you guys, and move on to the next baby. Because the thing is, once a record goes number 1, that's it. I mean, it's like everything's and then literally that's it. You got to just keep it moving. So yeah.
Well, I can't wait for you to send them to me so I can tell you that they're not that good. And that's just payback for the 13 text. They're always good, VASSY. Congratulations on your number 1. Congratulations on World Pride. That is so amazing. Thank you so much for your time on America's Dance 30.
Thank you so much, Brian. I really appreciate it. And I just realized something really cool besides my dodgy AC and curtain in the background. And sorry about the background. It's not glamorous like yours, but I'm matching with everything in your. Look at that.
Oh wow!
I'm matching with your logo and everything.
Well, thank you for doing that. I'm just trying to end this chat, and you're like, "Hey, look what I'm wearing."
Yeah, sorry about that. I just want to edit that part out. But anyways. I might go back to bed now at this point. It's only like 8:15.
Well, it's okay because I'm going back to bed after this too.
Oh.